At the point of definition, that is where the whole thing begins to separate. So the reason why these definitions are coming, if you pay attention to most of the definitions we've got here, is about what to do and what to achieve, right? Even though some of them having nuances of as though they're kind of getting what it should be from my perspective, which I'm going to share. And these things I'm going to share is something I have practiced for over 5 years now, and it's been working tremendously for me. So I'm not sharing what I read in a book. I'm not sharing what I heard somebody say. I'm sharing what I have practiced, and I'm still practicing, and it's working. So look at this. Look at this definition. Before I go into the definition, I want you to know that, first of all, goal is about to become rather than to do. So I want you, in your book, I want you to write this equation. You become to do to have. So goal is, first of all, what you become. I've not defined goal. I'm going to give you a is it called academic definition? Yes, so that you have something to write and hold on to. But I'm saying that goal is primarily, should be primarily about what to become than what to do and have. So goal, when you become, the personality, the who you have become is the person that does the activities before you can have the things. But unfortunately, the flow is the other way around. People always, most often, we go the other way around. We want to have, and then we do, and then we become. Stay with me, because I will prove all of this. Now, if you go the other way around, people want to make a lot of money. For instance, if you go to finance, people want to make a lot, because I'm going to also speak a bit about financial goal setting. All right. So people want to make a lot of money. Then they want to, when they make a lot of money, they now become philanthropists. They have to help a lot of people, build foundations, and then they will now become, the rich people in the society, honored, responsible, and all of that. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. That's the reason. If you follow the other way, it puts you under pressure and makes every other thing become so difficult, as though you are hustling. And remember, that's why many people use the word hustle. We've even religion, we've Christianized the word, that we now say, God bless my hustle. You're a child of God. You are not meant to hustle. Let me chip in that. You are not meant to hustle. Hustle is not divine. Hustle is not divine. But that's not the topic for today. If you're interested, I will give you a way to hear more about this. But one thing I want you to understand is, when you follow the other way, it puts you in a path where you begin to struggle to have, and you can never have. It can never be enough. So while you're struggling to have, it is outside you. It becomes something you are chasing out there. But goal is primarily about who you become, which is inside you. The person, the quality of that person you've become will now go and engage in the quality of activities that people can see. But the internal activities people will not see. That's the process of becoming. So what is goal, or what are goals? So I use this way. Say goals are the thought processes. Please write. Goals are the thought processes and physical activities you engage in daily. Please underline the word daily. Goals are the thought processes and physical activities you engage daily to increase your self-worth. To increase your self-worth, who you are, the quality of your being, the quality of your being that is credible, to increase your self-worth, so as to create values that will surpass your target. So for the person who mentioned target, target is a different thing. Target is a reference point for which you shoot at. A reference point you want to achieve. That's where you go. The word achieve. Target is a reference point. So most often people are focusing on targets, which is external. It's a reference point. How much money you want to make is a reference point. It's okay, but that shouldn't be the primary thing. The reason why, one of the reasons why people are not motivated to follow through their New Year resolution is because what they are looking for is outside them, is external. And inspiration, the word inspiration is in spirit, is inside, inspirare. So for you to actually do something, stay through, you have to be inspired. And we are spirits having human experience. You may write that down. We are spirits having human experience. You are not a human being. You are a spirit being that has human body. Because when God created us, he created us like him and then molded the son to become our flesh. So the spirit of God is the real being. So when you do something that is not inspiring, you find out that you can't sustain it. That's why a lot of people fail. Is one major reason why they fail. I'll show you the other reasons, which are very important also, foundational. So I guess you've got that. Goals are physical, are thought processes. So it begins with your thought. The quality of thought you think, and I'm going to give you examples. The quality of thoughts you engage in daily is not occasional. It's not something. Therefore, if you think you are going to use one session to be able to set a goal and achieve it, is a failure. You have to avail yourself. One of the goals you should set is to avail yourself to learn the process for which you can sustain the goals you set. Hello? Hello?
With you, sir.
Fantastic.
Right here.
Yes, when you reiterate some of the things I say, I can see someone say, you are not meant to hustle as a child of God. Thank you so much. If you reiterate these things, it helps me to know. So this, first of all, start with the thought process. What are you thinking? What do you think on daily basis? Do you think of success? Do you think of the things you want to really become? The kind of life you want to achieve, you want to attain to? These things we're saying, is that what you think? Or do you think about the problems? Do you think about the situation of the country and talk about the government that is not working and talk about everything that is not working? What do you think on daily basis? That's the key. Now, this is the reason, one of the reasons why people don't sustain whatever they say is their goal or their resolution, because their thought process is even against their desire, is against what they are thinking. I mean, what they are desiring. Their thought process is more of the problems, more of the things they don't have, more of the challenges they are facing. So they could not surmount that to see more of where they really want to go, who they really want to become. So goal setting begins with thought process. So the thought process that you do daily, then this thought process will lead you to physical activity, because there is a flow. That thought would affect your feelings, and your feelings would affect your activities, your actions. What you think empowers what you feel, and what you feel empowers what you do. So if your thought process thinking about problems, definitely you'll be having feelings that is disempowering. You'll be having negative feelings. You'll be having feelings that will be putting you under depression. The thought process. And then this will lead you to physical activities. Now, the things you think will end up empowering the things you do. So most people here are problem driven. In fact, when I made researches, I found out that a lot of people who are doing businesses and even jobs, they are as a result of lack and problem. I don't have money, so I want to take up job to have money. I need a business. A lot of people, some people have job and they open business as well, in case if the job fails, in case anything happens at the job. This is fear-based thought process. And these things they don't empower you to sustain something you have decided to do. That's where the problem is. So if you understand, if you actually follow this, you will see that you have a different trajectory in this 2023. Having to learn how to gain thought processes that support the desires you have in the heart. There is something you desire in the heart, and that's why people say they want to achieve this, achieve that. Those desires in your heart, you need a supportive thought process to deliver them. Otherwise, you will fall back to what the scriptures say. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's not as you are wishing. So there is a heart, a thought that comes in the heart, and there is a wish. So what people do most of the time in crossover night and New Year resolution is a wish. You have to have this process in order to create something. Improve your self-worth. So goal is primarily about who you become, right? Now, look at this. You have your goals are being sustained by your purpose. So when I was saying so many words, this requires definition. Goals are being sustained by your purpose, and purpose is being sustained by the vision. And this is where the bigger problem comes in. Now, a lot of people say they want to set up goals. They set goals. They want to set goals for the year 2023, but they don't have vision. You don't have a vision. Now, vision is like a foundation. This is not a vision class. I have a class that is for vision. You know, when you come into the class, we talk everything about vision, and it's gonna blow you, because it's not what you think. It's not the definitions you get or everywhere. Just like this one, if you look around, check your dictionary, you will not get this kind of definition. You won't get it. So vision is like the foundation. Pay attention. Your purpose. So vision drives purpose. Vision is the foundation. The purpose is like the reason why you want to lay the foundation. That's a purpose. The reason why you want to lay the foundation. Now, the goals are the different pillars that you have to put after you've laid the foundation. You see? Now, if the vision is the foundation, the vision is the foundation. The purpose is the reason why you want to lay the foundation. Maybe you want to build a 2-story building, a 1-story building, a skyscraper, a bungalow, whatever be it. That's the reason why you want to lay the foundation. Because based on that reason, you will decide the kind of foundation you want to lay. If you don't have that reason, which is purpose, you don't know what. There is confusion, even when you get a vision. And it's difficult to have a vision without a purpose. It's difficult. I've not said. So if you have a goal, if you have a vision, you have a purpose, then the goal becomes the different pillars. And if you know in building, which I'm using as an example, in building, pillars you put in different locations of the building vary based on the functionality of those pillars. Therefore, your goal is the different personality you have to assume to accomplish your vision. If you don't have vision, when you set goal, you can't make it. When you don't have a foundation, how can you set goals? So you see, now the question I ask people is, what's your vision? But again, I found out that people begin to answer me even when they don't understand what vision is. So I retracted. I don't ask what's your vision. I now ask them, what is vision? But that's not the class. But I just want us to understand the fact that goal setting is not on its own. It's tied to the vision. It's tied to the purpose. And if you don't have these, it becomes useless. That's why many people don't have vision. Many people don't understand the purpose, why they are here. Therefore, when they do New Year resolution, it's like water pouring upon stone. It's like water you pour upon egg. It doesn't hold. It doesn't stay. They forget it. And this, you cannot testify, has been happening repeatedly. It has been happening year in, year out. You are worried. You are wondering why you have not attained where you go. Because, and look at the illusion. And that's why I will encourage, anyway, I will encourage as much as we can, all the persons in here, if you can, please take up to learn more. That should even be your biggest goal in 2023. I could remember in 2018, sorry, 2018, my wife and I, we set a goal, and that goal was just to study based on the three categories of knowledge. And that was it. There was no work. In fact, no earnings. We just decided to study. I know I quit my job. I had to quit my job, so that I can have more time to study. It was crazy. But I'm not saying other people, every other person should do this. That's why if you come into a program, I do a 6-week course, a program. If you come into that, you can understand how best you may maneuver or pilot this affair without necessarily have to do the extreme. There are different kind of people. So I'm the kind that I can do crazy things and I come out of it. So, but not everybody is in that category. And wherever you are, it's okay. It's okay. It's amazing because you have your advantages, you have also your disadvantages. It's just to understand where you are. So now, it took us time. In fact, we went to monastic life for 3 years. For 3 years. For those who know, they know what I'm saying right now, right in this room. It took us 3 years to actually figure these things out. So if you want to, in 2018, we set a goal just to study the scriptures, study books, read books. These books, they are not fancy. Read books to figure out things, to understand how other people think, and to know more about ourselves, right? And then we attended sessions. We signed up for trainings. We were going for, learning and all of those things. So it is a place where you gain more stability if you actually sign up to learn. So this process is a deliberate process for you to improve who you are. If you don't have a vision, you're wasting the time. If you set a goal, it's going to be about us out there. So there will be no inspiration to carry through whatever you set. That is one of the reasons. In fact, this is the main reason why people fail in goal setting or they fail in New Year resolution, because there is nothing, there is no foundation. Why are you setting goals? What's the big why, the big deal why you're setting the goals? You don't have. So it is flawed. It affects every other thing. Therefore, if you really want to set a goal in 2023 and see through that goal to have a result, and look at how it works. When you set goal, it doesn't mean that everything you accomplish, you will get in that goal you've set, but it's going to take you further. Let me give you an example. There is, if people know Usain Bolt, who is the fastest runner in the world. Now, Usain Bolt, when he came out the first time, the very first time he came out to run, he went in and he did the race, and it was a struggle. He won in that race. The very first time he came, he won, but it was a struggle, a small margin. The person he won was almost close. Now, when Usain Bolt finished, what he did, he came out of the whole stuff and he went home. He never talked to anybody. He never told anybody his plan. He made a decision to go back. I think about 3 years, he went off. He never came. The media, the press, they were looking for him. They were wondering the defending champion should have showed the next year, but he never came. And it took him some years. He went back. And after the period of time he went back, he came out. And then he took the next race. He gave, they never saw his back. It was a huge margin that he won. Then when they interviewed him, he said he wanted to be a champion, not a winner. That he went, when he did the first one, he noticed that he struggled. It was a close range, and he didn't want to do that. He went back and took lessons and trainings that imputed more value in him. He became so strong and powerful that when he showed, his competitors went down. Nobody, he had no competition anymore. He was outstanding. This is what goal can do if you understand it. It's not a thing of show up. It's not a place you want to measure up. You want to be better than this person or that person. Because those things come when you are externally driven. When you are externally driven, you are always looking for who you're going to be better than and who is better than you and who is, all of those things. But if it is internally driven, you will see that you put every other thing aside and focus on building yourself to actually deliver this thing. And what is the end? The end of what you do should be to serve humanity, to serve God through humanity. Are we together? Hello?
Yes, we are together.
Yes, we
We
are.
are together.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. This is the first part. Now I want to talk a bit about the financial goal setting. So if you got something here, I think it's going to make a lot of sense if you go back. But then remember, it is important you learn. So how do you set a vision? How do you develop a vision, and then how do you understand the purpose, and so that you can actually set a goal that you can achieve, you can deliver. It's no longer setting a goal that you go and then you stumble, you can't finish it, and then everything is gone. And then another ending of the year, the tension begins to build again, and then there's a crossover. You feel there's a feeling that you are left if you don't do it. Some people will feel, everybody is saying, they are talking about New Year resolution. So what's my New Year resolution? And then you just say something, muffle something. No. And note this: anything you don't write down, you have never traveled on earth. Earth is a physical place. Earth is not a spirit place. I want us to get this. This is one of the challenges I have noticed with people, especially when you are very religious, or you love God. Many a time a lot of people get it wrong. We are living on earth. Earth is a physical place. So if you really want to do anything, you have to trap it. You have to bring it on earth physically. So actually, it will go through the spirit. Yes, it will go through the spirit. That means you have to be connected also to the spirit. That's the source. But if you stay in the spirit and not translate it to the physical, it cannot work. Therefore, if you're setting a goal that is not written down and you are not reviewing it, it cannot work. You will never get a result. You have to set a goal and write it down. Is important. So when you do this, you find out that you are going to actually be more committed to it, to get it done, than when you just say it and you say it's in your head. I've met a lot of Nigerians, a lot of people here who say they know what they are saying. And when you ask for written material, they say, don't worry, they know. They're proving they're intelligent. But this has nothing, in psychology, it has nothing to do with intelligence. The point is whether you are intelligent or not intelligent, because you must have seen intelligent people who are struggling, suffering, and broke. You have seen them. It doesn't matter. It's not about your intelligence, but it's about your understanding on how things work. So now the other aspect is financial, because I know that the big view is finances. A lot of people are looking for how to increase their finances, and I will show you right in this class that there is a way you can actually follow to achieve this. It's proven. Honestly speaking, it works if you put in the work. It works. Now, when to set financial goal? Financial goal is a very important. Why I want to pick this is a very major aspect of our lives. There is nothing, just like this program now, there is nothing you would do without finances. Nothing, absolutely. So we need money at all times. And also, what I have found out is this money has become so pronounced that it has become a big distraction. That many people are now falling prey in the name of looking for money. Then they get disorganized. They don't get everything. So in my 6-week course, I actually start with the money thing to help people figure out the major distraction we're having, which is this money. A lot of people are looking for. So people are waking up every day, struggling, hustling, want to make a lot of money. So they have so many homes have abandoned their children. Many fathers have left the home, especially here in Nigeria. Many fathers are not involved in raising their children, training their children, because they are making money. So I show how we can actually put this thing into perspective to get the result we desire without actually making anything suffer. I mean, we can have all-round success. It's possible. We can have all-round success. That's what God wishes for us. That's what He has already designed for us. So why are you having this one and you're not having this one? And you have a word to suit you. Said no one can have it all. Who said so? It's a lie from the pit of hell as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the word of God is concerned. All right. So now in financial goal setting, one of the things, there are 3 steps that I'm going to share with us. And the first step is you have to, number 1, you have to figure out one thing you actually want to do. One thing you want to commit your life, your time, your everything to it. Now, in this is part of goal setting and then financial goal setting. So financial goal setting, a lot of people are looking for money. They're thinking money. Now, stay with me. If this is a little shift, I'm trying to twist this for you to see that what you are thinking is not exactly what it should be. A lot of people are thinking cash. They want to make money. But that money you're thinking is in a process that when you go through that process, the money comes to you. As a matter of fact, money goes to where there is value. Therefore, if you actually do anything to improve your work, to create values, you will make more money. Money will come to you. This is how it works. If you understand this, you're going to do differently. Stay on value creation. Some of you are creating value already. But if you don't have this knowledge, you will not stay there consistent. Now, what is that thing you want to do? Successful men in the world are men of one thing. In all ramifications, go through them. Successful men in the world are men of one thing. Usain Bolt I mentioned, if you mention, you remember what he does. If you mention Cristiano Ronaldo, you remember what he does. If you mention what do you call him, the guy in basketball, you remember Jordan, you remember him. One thing. If you mention Bill Gates, you remember him. One thing. Microsoft. Even our brother Dangote here, one thing. If you mention successful people, they are men of one thing. And even as our Lord Jesus Christ, He came for one thing. For one thing. To save mankind. That's all. For one purpose. He said it. He said it. If you go to John chapter 18, verse 37, you will see it. He's man of one thing. Men of one thing are successful people. The reason why a lot of people don't achieve what they put, even their finances, they are scattered. Are you one of them? You want to achieve this one? You want to achieve that one? You want to go for this one? You want to focus? No. You have to focus. The men who, you see, there is a concept of focusing. You have to focus until your focus becomes the focus. As in, you have to focus until you become the focus. Focus on one thing until you become the focus. But if you don't, you will always be here and there. And this is what I see people do. They run to this, they want to start this one, they stop it, they start this one, they stop it, they start it, they've not it. And the reason again is boiling down to the vision. Because write this down, vision guides your decision. When you have a vision, it will guide the decisions you take for time. But lack of vision makes everything looks the same. So what are you doing? Yeah, thank you. Usain Bolt, I want to be a champion, not a winner. For me, you can actually be both. I also believe and know that there are winners who aren't champions, and there are champions who aren't winners. Okay, okay. You want to be both? Okay. Let's stay together. So now the point is, but if you, because this is important, you go through a place of study to figure these things out. Not a place of what you think, because what you think may not be what it should be. What you think could be good, but Could it be all you should be? It may not be. But in a place of study, you figure out what it should actually be. Go and check. Successful men are men of one thing. Now, when I say men of one thing, it doesn't mean that they don't have other things they do. You see? But before ever they break into other things they do, they are men who focus on one thing. They achieve that thing. And through the influence of that one thing, they can actually be found in other things. You see? So, but people, unsuccessful people are everywhere. You find them, I find them every day. So in my sessions, when I ask them, they say they are in real estate, they are in interior decorating, they are doing fashion, they are also they have the world might see and start celebrating me. Well, am I winning? Am I having success? Yes, because success is a measurement word to succeed. So you need to have successes. If you actually set up something, you achieve it, that's a success. You go to the next, you achieve it, you are another success. You should have successes. And compounding these successes will take you to the world. You become evident. That's time. You see, now, if I'm going with a place of have, to do, to become, I wouldn't even call this webinar. I want to wait until I become on the media, everywhere people are celebrating me before I can say, okay, I can do this program. That's not the way it works. You have to become before you do and have. Those things you're looking for to have, you have to become the person who deserves to have those things. That's how it works. So number one thing, if you actually want to increase your finances this year, 2023, this coming year, 2023, you have to decide, what is that one thing? I'm going to focus all. I'm going to stay in it. I'm going to stay in it. Make a decision first. That's it. The number one thing is to make a decision. Make a decision of one thing you are going to work on. You have a business. Are you going to stay on this business? Is this exactly what you want? Then stay on it. Make a decision and look at how it works. If you actually have a holistic understanding of how life should go, you see, you might have a business now, but that business is actually to deliver you to the real thing. That may not be the end, right? So, but you choose that business to actually get to the end. The point is, you have to know where you're headed. If it's not definite, you go nowhere. It has to be definite. When it's definite, then you map out the road. You give the roadmap of getting to that definite end. By the time you have this, it becomes an easy flow to get this. You wouldn't be hustling. You wouldn't be struggling. A lot of people are in a place where they have become barbaric just because they want to achieve something. A lot of people have become animalistic. They are so angry. And then, are you guys not seeing it? Hello? Are you not seeing it? A lot of, every time, touch people hard. People are angry. They scream. Everybody's shouting. People are shouting at their own children. People are yelling everywhere. On the road, people are driving and doing waka, shege, everything. People are so angry everywhere. Just make a mistake, step on someone. He's so angry. Before the person will receive, I'm sorry, he has already made utterances that are so regrettable. You see, this is a place where people are pressured, they are stressed because they want to achieve something. They are looking for something. And this thing is already there. It's just for you to understand how to work these things out. So number one thing, I pray that someone will catch this thing. As a matter of fact, one person in this room is enough for me. One person who will understand this and choose to use it is enough. This year, 2023, one thing. What is the one thing I want to do? What is the one thing I want to focus on? Then number two thing is you have to focus all your resources to this one thing. All your resources. Focus all your resources. So everything you have to focus your everything to this one thing. And pay attention. This process I'm going to show, remember, this is financial goal setting. I've gone into this financial goal setting. Stay with me. This process is a process that you have no excuse. You know, when you say it's financial goal setting, somebody will say, I don't have a job, so how can I set a financial? No, No, remember, if you remember the definition of goal, that definition, you have a brain. Everybody has a brain. If you remember, the definition says is a thought process. Goals are thought processes and physical activities you engage in daily. So I will show you the thought process, the physical activities. You have to go. You don't have any excuse. If you don't have money, if you don't have a job, you have not started your business, and that seems to be an excuse. No, it's not an excuse. I will show you that that's not going to be an excuse. So you have everything to actually start the to actually increase your finances this coming 2023. I tried it worked for me. I tried it worked for me. As a matter of fact, I started a business from the scratch again last year. And I tell you, with so much joy and praise, glory to God, that within 12 months, I built that business to a 7-figure business from scratch, from zero. It's possible. If you go through the process, you become the quality of being that can attract or can make that money that you're looking for. What kind of money you're looking for? Stay with me. So number one, make a decision of what you want to work on. 2023, one thing. Then number two, focus all your resources. And then when I say focus all your resources, we have two types of resources. Number one is financial resources and non-financial resources. So when you come to financial resources, you have number one, financial resources. So stay with me. Now, if you have those who are in job making money, pay attention. Even those who don't make any money, stay with me because you will get to where you make money. So you have what I call number one under financial resources. Pay attention because these are the things you will use to empower that single thing you have decided to do. Okay, let me get a little interactive here. So that I can be sure that we are all here. I can see 22 people in the house. Oh my God, this thing would have been so nice. Rather that. Okay. So stay with me now. What do we think? What do we think? What is resource? A resource. What is a resource? What is a resource? Let's make a definition. What is a resource? I know we are intelligent people here. What is a resource? Please, I need interaction now. I want to be sure that we are here together. What is a resource? You have to become before you do and have. Make a decision, number one. Yes, thank you. Focus. Yeah. Go ahead. What's a resource?
A resource is a source from where you replenish, material or something.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, go ahead. Who again has a definition? What's a resource? What's a resource?
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, resource is like a fueling point where you get, let me not use fuel. Fuel is already a byproduct. Resource is the raw material, where you get the raw material source. When they say resource, we have to remove the RED, then source, where you get the source,
Yeah.
And when if you talk about financial resources, financial is just a different word. The important thing there is the resource or resources. And then the re is also, there are two words joined together. They are the compound words. The source. And then when that thing finishes, where you go back, that is the re. So research is where you always go to get the raw materials to, do a particular thing. Thank you.
Fantastic. But see, honestly, this humbles me. This humbles me. This guy who just spoke now is a mentee. He has actually done with the wife. I'm so proud of this family. With the wife, they've actually done this program, this 6-week program. And you can see learning is a continuous process, and it's something that you can't stop. Even the first person who spoke has done this program, and you see the way the words are coming. So thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe, for that definition. That's apt. That's how it comes, because many a time definitions, when they are not got right, we struggle, because definition give you a perspective. When you define something, you get a perspective about that thing. So if your definition is on the surface, your perspective will be on the surface, and therefore you may not go deep, you may not get more. So now that's it. A resource is actually to go back to the origin. Source means origin. So resource, go back to the origin. So there are things that you can actually go back to, right? There are things you can go back to, and then you get something from it over and over. So it doesn't matter whether you have money, it doesn't matter whether you don't have money. So wherever you are, you have something. Now, for financial resources, number one, I said, is cash and near cash. What is cash? Cash is how much money can you raise without borrowing? How much money can you raise without borrowing? So you can actually get some money to support that one thing. Remember, these steps are gearing towards number one, supporting that one thing, that decision you have made you will do in 2023. So when you go to under financial resources, because number two is focus all your resources. So when you now come, I said the resources are into two types: financial resources and non-financial resources. Okay. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, thank you, Philip. Philip says resource is something that one uses to achieve an objective, for example, raw materials. Fantastic. So you can actually go back to it again and again. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Now, stay muted. Please, everyone should stay muted. Just try. So now, that resource, financial resource, you have cash. How much cash can you raise without borrowing to support that one thing? Near cash is, what are the things you have that you can actually convert to cash? This is a big deal. People are doing declutter now. Declutter, right? What can you declutter? We did, as in when my wife and I sat down, we saw so many things that we're not using, so many things that we are not functional in our home. We had to declutter. Some we actually gave out free, but some, many, we sold them. We made money out of them. We made money out of them. So people complain they don't have enough to power what they want to do. They're raising now. Stay connected. If you know what to do.
Your audio is faulty. Your audio is faulty, sir.
Hello?
I don't know if it's just me. If others can hear you well, that would be okay.
Okay, can others hear me? Is it clear?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
It's better now. It's better now.
Okay, it's better now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, I see someone say, please, my husband and I, hey, Lisa, my husband and I will appreciate if you can recap on where you started after the break in transmission, because we disconnected for a while until now. Ooh, okay. I will finish the class, then I can do a little recap. And unfortunately, this is not being recorded. Or if possible, send your record after the meeting. Thank you. Oh, that's where the wahala. Why? Can I end this and start it again to see whether the recording will be enabled? Why is the recording now?
Someone said there's a record.
Okay, maybe because that is the device. Oh, okay, so fantastic. Go ahead. Oh, there is recording. I'm blessed. Can you see? I'm blessed. Something is covering me somewhere. I didn't know. All right, fantastic. So look at it. The second one, I said we have under financial resources, we have cash and near cash. Pay attention. This is very important. You have cash and near cash, and this is your cash and near cash, which I've explained. You can convert a lot of things to your favor, to raise finances, to raise money. And remember, whenever you make a decision to actually become someone of worth, someone who can influence positively to impact the society, everything will support you. Even God Almighty will support you to succeed. So when you make this kind of decision, rather than letting things waste in your home, convert these things, cash them, sell them, and make money out of them. Now, the money you're making is not because you want to eat. That's another problem. No. The money you are making out of this, remember, is to focus on that one thing so that you don't have any excuse to execute that one thing. Go and check